Hello guys, this is Jerry speaking. Welcome to LJPCBM React, episode 339, and today we're reacting to Purple Tales Podcast, episode 11, and we're gonna do this, guys. So, Carey Stinson, who's gonna take his turn in the guest chair. So, what do I think of it? I don't know. Excuse me. We're gonna see what happens. But anyway, I don't know who's gonna be gone for that long, but that's just me, of course. Anyway, we're gonna react to this in 5, 4, 3. Yeah, hold on. Before we get to our reaction video, my mom's gonna be cameo in this episode because she's gonna give me a hole in the plate because they're saying there's Ray and we'll have to take Ray. But anyway, let's get started. Anyways, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Come on. There we go. Click on it. Okay, there we go.
Continuing our look now at the best in children's television. This morning, the new kid, or dinosaur on the block.
The big purple reptile that kids can't resist.
The big purple
Dinosaur.
Teaches about love and it just kind of like soothes the kids.
And always, there's that signature song.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Welcome to the Purple Tales podcast, the best podcast out there and getting better, I would say. I'm Nancy J. Carey Stinson, the host.
Hello, Nancy. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am wonderful.
You always have something new to tell us every week.
Oh, I'm so excited today.
What's happening with all this podcasting?
Oh, you won't. This is so, well, you know, but because you were part of this, but we're getting ready to do Purple Tales podcast live.
We are?
We're taking it on the road.
Wow. It's part of my LJPCBM Reacts special event. If you're watching this, Carey, this is for you, but there you go.
We are?
We are. We're going to Ennis, Texas.
Okay.
To the Ennis Public Theater.
I believe there was someone who had something to do
That's
with Barney
right.
with the Ennis Theater.
So Shelley, who was with us, my choreographer for all those years, Shelley Aubrey, is bringing us to, and we're doing Purple Tales live.
Oh, wait. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can actually see this. And it'll be, we have the June, excuse me.
It's all good. Oh.
Boy, that's sooner than I thought. I was hoping it was January. Saturday, June 22nd at the Ennis Public Theater. Here we all are.
Yeah, days before I turn 24 at this point, but I'll have to react to this at this point. But anyway, let's continue on.
Look, there's Carey, Barney, BJ, Baby Bop,
We'll all
MC
be
right here.
there.
The voice, oh my gosh, Patty Words.
They're all going to be there, and we're taking questions from the audience too.
And
for
I
the first
understand
time.
it's a charity.
It
event.
is. We're giving to Ennis Girls and Boys and Girls Club. So
Wow.
all the money raised, so Barney's getting to help the children again.
That is so great.
Wow.
So exciting.
And you put this whole thing together. Carey, you're amazing.
Shelley and I have been working hard on this, and she's been gracious to bring us to the theater, and we're so excited about it.
What about, it's probably going to sell out pretty quickly now.
We hope so. We hope so.
But it's
Wow.
also bringing everyone in one room.
Yes.
Do you know, that's what all the comments we keep getting are, please come together, do a reunion. So this is kind of a pseudo reunion.
And here's really exciting news. It will be live streamed on Facebook. So if you're not here, you can still watch us live. We will be
Okay.
anywhere you can get us. We'll be on Facebook Live.
Oh my goodness.
The first time all of us have been in a room together. And of course, as soon as every one of them, Jeff and Kyle and Patty and I said, we're giving back to the
Wow.
Boys and Girls Club. I'm in.
And
I'm
Shelley's
in. I'm
been
in.
so
and Shelley's
big
been
about
amazing.
this. Yes.
And the board, the Ennis, the board.
Wow. This is one of those. It's one of those birthday presents I'm giving. So, especially that Barney one I'm going to attend on June the 7th or the 8th. I can't remember, but that's why I'm attending a day at the park with Barney for the first time in 8 years. Seeing Barney in my lifetime. Let's continue on.
Of the theater, and several of them are members of the Boys and Girls Club board members, and they are all so thankful that we're helping out Ennis, and we're so excited to do this.
Well, thank you very
Exactly.
much for including me
Oh,
in
I'm
this.
so
It's gonna
thrilled.
be
It's gonna
fun.
be- it's gonna be a lot of
It's going to
fun.
be so much fun. And I want to talk. We've gotten some really cute
Yes.
comments now from people. And gosh, episode 9 was with Jackie Smith, Barney's publicist, if you recall.
Yes.
And we got a note from Dusty Rhodes. I think that's his real name,
I don't
Dusty
know.
Rhodes.
I don't know.
Anyway, says the podcast came out of the blue. He had no idea, just happened
Right.
to find it. And he said his son was the biggest I hope Dusty's a man. I'm not sure. It could be Dusty Springfield was a
Yeah, but
anyway.
and thank you for finding the pod. I'm glad you found the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, Dusty. That the son is handicapped, but was able to watch Barney from 1988 through 2015.
Wow.
And
Oh God, I haven't seen much more about Barney. Well, back then, in '95, late '95, I watched a lot of Barney. Barney Live in New York City. You know, let's just say that I told Carey about this on Facebook Messenger, and he replied back to me, and I started reacting to this content. You know, that's just me, of course. Let's continue on.
And Dusty goes on to say, spent a lot of money on Barney goodies, right?
Right.
But
Wow.
they taught his son a lot from Barney to Baby Bop to Riff, etc. And that he grew up on Sesame Street, the dad, or the mom.
And I did too.
Wow. That was my childhood, man. Really? Sesame Street? Okay. Whatever.
Okay, so there you go.
Absolutely.
But that Barney meant more to him now than anyone else. So thank you so much. And also, people are saying that some friends came in, they had some kids in their school from Vietnam. They
Wow.
used Barney to learn English.
Isn't it amazing? You know, he's not the U.S., just the U.S. He's all around the world.
It's
known all
it
around
is
the world.
worldwide.
And
Then
I've traveled a big part of it with the big purple dinosaur.
you
so-
certainly did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, now then we had episode 8 with Marissa.
Yes.
One of the kids, Hannah.
Yes.
People love her. Marissa, you are the big popular one right
Well,
now.
she melted my heart when she sang "I Love You" at the end. When she was
Mine
talking about it,
too.
it was
Oh,
Mine too,
my.
but this is
and blew
great.
the kiss. That was awesome.
Jimmy Galanis,
Okay.
he goes, not sure, maybe it's just me, but as the video goes on, Marissa kept looking younger as she kept talking about Barney, and he said, hashtag Barney Magic. So I went back, so that was episode 8. I've gone back to our first episode to
Right.
look at us.
Sure, yeah. How
And
we doing?
I think we're looking younger, but what it
I
may
love
really
it.
be is more of a young at heart.
Well, there you
because
go.
Barney keeps us young at heart.
Absolutely.
But I do like the idea that we may get younger.
Yeah, I like that too. And
Maybe.
talking about this, I got a big announcement. I officially booked Brian Epps. That was Michael. So many people have been talking about. We've been talking, but I finally got to talk to him. We finally picked a date. So many say they want the Backyard Gang.
Mm-hmm.
He was the original. He was one of the kids. He was Sandy Duncan's son in the episode.
wow.
So he's
Wow.
original. He has the scripts. He has the first version of the Barney doll. So
Wow.
I cannot wait to have him on. Brian will be on very soon.
That's a huge get. But
And
Wow.
you know, and he said also, I got to tell you, he said he signs more autographs today than he did back in the day. Like it's becoming even
no
more
kidding.
popular.
Well, just
Yeah, wow.
you wait, Brian. You're going to be signing all of them. And yes, that's a big get, but I got a good get too.
Okay.
I've got a big guest today.
What you got?
Well, my
Hold on. Before you get the Gus part, my dinner's ready. And special surprise guest from my mom, ladies and gentlemen. Hi. There you go. And let's continue on.
guest today, I got to choose this one.
Oh, okay.
On Purple Tales podcast
Uh-huh.
is none other than the man who was Barney for 22 years, your host, Carey Stinson. Yay!
Wow.
Yes, we're finally going to get actually Carey's story. And I want to just tell you, because this is so crazy. He's going to...
Let me tell you what I got here too.
Okay, well, and you know what? We're gonna make him sit in the guest seat, and it fits. You've got Barney and Friends. That is amazing. I have not seen that on eBay,
No, this one's not on.
and it has your name and everything.
This one is. Yeah.
Well, but you know what? It's funny because when I got my knowledge of Barney was always just as a reporter when I was working here in Dallas, Fort Worth in TV and radio. And when I got the call from the executive producer, Chris Kraft, he said, would you be interested in co-hosting a Barney podcast? And I thought, well, I've never done a podcast. And sure, but let me Google all this. So I did my Googling and I look up Barney, but I'll tell you what, up pops the name of David Joyner, who had said Barney for a decade. And then it said that, he was now a tantric sex therapist and spiritual healer. And I thought, wow, this could be really interesting or really a little. I wasn't sure how I would handle that.
Cool.
Only come to find out that there have actually been 3 guys who have played Barney. I mean, because we consider Josh as kind of a fill-in.
I want to make this clear. Just the history of the Barney. So David Voss was the first. David Voss did the 3 videos, the original videos. And because there was only 1 video a year, couldn't make a living as an actor. And he went to the military, he went to the Army.
From having done Barney,
Yes.
he went into the military.
Yes.
How about that?
And that's when the TV show came out. While that was happening, so before the TV show came out, I was doing birthday parties. Based off of those videos, a lady named Sloan Coleman, who's going to be on in a couple weeks, the lady that hired me for everything, it started. She'd gone to the producers of Barney and started a birthday party business, and so there was a couple guys doing that, but it was just birthday parties.
Okay.
But it was licensed. And then while we were doing that, that's when the TV show hit, and there was actually a female that originally was going to do it, and then she decided not to do it, and that's when they brought in David Joyner.
Okay.
And then David Joyner did the first 6 series of Barney and Friends. It was getting so big, and they were so careful about who was in the costume. That's when they brought me in.
Okay.
And so I did all the PR with David was doing the TV show. I did the PR for 5 years and the books and a lot of that, and he was doing the TV show. And then I went on tour. And so there was obviously several Barneys, Josh, Antoine. So there's several people that did that. Maurice Scott was someone, I know you've seen Maurice's name. Sarah, she was on the road with us. So there were several people that did that, and then I came off the road and did the TV show. So Josh did a little bit of the TV show, and then David and David Joyner and myself.
But
Yes.
correct me if I am wrong,
Yes.
which I know you will.
Yes.
You were Barney for 22 years,
Yes.
and you actually are the only one who covered the whole spectrum of Barney, from touring, from TV, from videos, from books, from handshakes to hospital visits. You had a hand in everything.
I did. And
Well-
it's the most unbelievable experience. I'm already going to get emotional. We're just starting here, and I need the tissues, but it's an incredible, it's an incredible experience. This week has been so special to me,
Well-
hearing about the Purple Tails live, and that purple dinosaur is letting us get back to children again. It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
It's incredible that that's happening.
Okay, but let's go back to the beginning. How you got the first job as Barney. What in the world were you doing, Carey? Because did you want to be a musician? Is that correct? Okay.
I was. I have had the most incredible parents. My parents were so supportive of all of their kids, whatever they wanted to do. My dad was a drummer. My mom was a dancer. My sister's an artist. So we've gone on the creative side and both sides. I went to business school because my dad was a great businessman. And I was going to Brookhaven College, which is here. And this is so funny because I started doing public speaking, but I actually was doing public speaking at Brookhaven. And I went to do my first speech. I've never told this before, but I went to do my first speech and I passed out. I fainted.
You were
I was
scared?
so
You
nervous.
nervous?
I was so nervous. I fell out. I passed out. And so
You've come a long way.
I was failing every class, and so I dropped out. And I went to my father. And I said, I don't know what to do. And he sat me down on the piano. I could remember this like it was yesterday. And he said, I don't care if it's possible or not. What do you want to be? And I said, I want to be a piano player. He said, well, then let's make you a piano player. 3 days later, he drove me to Waco to McLennan Community College. They had an amazing program, and he got me enrolled as a piano student playing in bands.
Okay.
I
And so
did that
you
for 2 years.
finished up at McLennan.
I finished up at McLennan, and then I kind of traveled around trying to figure out, how do you make a living as a musician, a problem that a lot of people have.
A lot of musicians have
And
that problem.
I
yes.
followed my family. My family was in Dallas, Texas, and my brother, and we're both basically the same age. My dad said, "You boys need to get jobs." In 22, 23, and so we had the newspaper. We didn't have all this stuff going on like we have today. So there was a job at Chili's in Plano. So I went to Chili's. I said I'd like to be a server. They said the only thing we have is a busboy. And if you'll do that for 2 weeks and prove yourself, we'll move you up to a server. I'll take it. Job's a job. I'll take it. Came back, told my dad. He said, there you go.
Now, what year was this?
This would have been 91.
Because I ate at that Chili's many times. You
Wow.
served me.
Yeah, I was cleaning your table up.
Oh my goodness! So you were the cute one that always waited on me. Thank you for that, Carey.
Yes, and you were the good tipper. I remember that too.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
a good one. So you're just working at Chili's and you.
1 week. I'm there 1 week.
Okay.
And it's Friday night, and the other busboy says to me, "Hey, could you work Saturday morning for me because I have to be Barney in the morning?" Now, there's no TV show. No one in the world knows what Barney is except this little video. And he said, this is crazy. Because I said, what in the heck is Barney?
What is a Barney?
I'm thinking you're making this up, man. If you want to go party, that's fine. If you want me to work tomorrow morning, that's cool,
Yeah.
And he explains the story. And he said, I'm getting ready to go off to college. You should talk to this lady because you're in the business. You should talk to her. So I said, well, okay, I'd be interested. So I called this lady up, Sloan Coleman, and she said, well, come to the house. So I go to the house, and we all know the big purple costume. This one was 20 pieces in her garage, hanging in her garage. This was not the pretty one that everyone sees. And she handed me this video, and she showed me this thing, and she said, go home and watch this and see what you think about it. And I told her I'd never been in a suit, so she was a little concerned about that. She said, I'll call you. Well, in this business, I learned it very early. They don't call you. It's rare that they call you, So I called her, and she said, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but I already hired someone. He's a young guy, and he has theater experience. You don't really have any theater experience. But he asked for the first week off. So could you do the first month off is what he did. And then he's going to do it, and then I'd like to hire you and have a second Barney, because it was building for her. So I did it and got pretty good. I was with Kathy Schumack. Kathy and I would go all over town in this van.
Doing what?
So we would, this is so crazy. I wish we had pictures of this. We would be in a van with a big helium tank, and I would be blowing up balloons. So we'd have a list of like 5 parties we'd have to go to. And I'd be on the MapSco. We didn't have GPS, all that.
And a lot of people do not know what a MapSco
Yes.
is. You'd look at A and the number. It was the best.
Yeah.
Much better than
I'm on a
Waze.
MapSco, and I'm blowing up balloons. Hey, they bought, 18 balloons, so I'm blowing these up and telling her where to take directions, and she's driving there. And then we go to the house, find out what the deal was, and then we'd go find a place for me to change.
Yeah.
A church, a whatever, and I would put this thing on. And I mean, it was 20 pieces, a head and a this and a that. It was very simple.
Yeah.
And we'd have I'm not joking here, a jam box, with a cassette tape, and we would play it, and I would do like the ants go marching one by, and they would follow me around the room, and Mr. Knickerbocker, and I would just do a little routine in their house, and then they could pay extra. Like Barney could bring you a gift. If you wanted a birthday cake, right. And so I'd be, walking in with this stuff. And then, and people would bring me to Mexican restaurants, and I'd be doing all this stuff all over Dallas, Fort Worth. And we did this for like 7 months, and she called me. I'll never forget this. She called me.
And you weren't working at Chili's anymore.
I was still working at Chili's. So on the weekend, and that pissed them off, excuse my language, because I couldn't work the weekends.
Exactly.
So I would be doing the weekends in the Purple Dinosaur, and then Monday through Friday. So they said, well, we're not going to make you a server because you won't work weekends. We're going to make you a cook. So I was a cook, Yeah.
No wonder that Chili's isn't there anymore.
Yeah,
I
so
know.
I was doing all the fried stuff, so I was good. I could drop it in the oils, and I was doing all that stuff, working that, and then I'm doing the birthday parties.
Exactly.
And then she calls me, and I can remember it like it was yesterday, and she said, Carey, they're shutting down my business. The TV show has become so popular that the lawyers aren't going to allow Barney to be running through people's houses, as you could imagine. So they've hired me to come run their special events, and I would like to get you. So you're going to get, and let me make this very clear to you, one audition. You get one chance to audition for the creators of the show, Dennis DeShazer, Cheryl Leach, and Kathy Parker.
Until then, had you ever met them?
No, met none of them. And it was a fashion show up on Coit and 75 for JCPenney's, and David Joyner was going to do the show, so he did the fashion show part. Okay. This is how old school it was too, because we were just in shorts and a t-shirt. He got out, I got in.
Oh my.
Oh, sweaty and all kinds of stuff. Who cares? I'm pumped. So I get in, and they wanted to watch me with children. So they had a camera on me, and they watched me do a meet and greet. And I did it for 30 minutes, and I came out, and only Dennis came. And Dennis and I've talked about this a lot, and he said, that was good. And that's all he said. And he's always like, oh, I hope I wasn't. No, that's part of the business, and I totally get it. They were so overwhelmed with what was going on. They were having to deal with all this stuff. So I didn't hear anything for basically, it was a week, but it felt like, a year. You're waiting for the phone call, and Sloan's saying, well, we haven't made a decision yet. And so they called me and hired me, and I did the JCPenney tour. So it was 3 months of going into JCPenney stores, and we kind of talked a little bit about this.
Yeah.
And the first one was in Mesquite, Texas, and the object of what was going to happen was that Barney was going to be, or I was going to be in these JCPenney stores surrounded by the merchandise. So you could buy anything you'd like, and then you got to meet Barney. They had 7,000 dang people show up, and they destroyed the store. I mean, knocked over racks, clothes everywhere, destroyed the store. Destroyed the store. And that night, they made a decision. No one will go to Barney. Barney will go to him. We'll go to them. Because we had so many people to control it, we could do it that way. We went to Collin Creek Mall after that. And you have to remember, back at that time, malls were the thing.
Oh, that was it. And the way people knew you were going to be there was what? Through probably newspaper ads, radio.
Oh, sure.
I may have reported and said, Barney's going to be at this Collin Creek Mall.
He's destroying stores,
We probably
He's
did that story.
destroying malls. What's going on with this dinosaur? So we went to Irving. I'll never forget that one. It was so insane. Dennis was there. Dennis said, I'm never going to a mall appearance again after that. Because people were going so crazy. They wanted anything. If there was a balloon, if there was anything.
Were these the kids or the parents?
Both. Both. And at the end, they actually pulled a van up, and I leaped into a van and drove off.
What did you think? I mean, you're a young man, and you're in this suit and with this amazing.
That's very quickly, when I learned the responsibility of this of this amazing dinosaur.
Man.
I'm going to these kids for hours. They're getting to see me for 5 seconds, and they're happy.
Oh my.
Because they get a hug. They get a high five. They've been waiting for hours and hours, and they get 5 seconds. And that's where I understood the responsibility of this, of what was going on, what had happened in my life. And, I was busting tables, 8 months ago, and here I am affecting children's lives. And we go from 7,000 to 25,000 people in New York City.
Oh my.
Explain what the jump then, after doing these malls just kind of locally in North Texas, when did everything really start to transpire into this whole
it was
international?
New York. When we hit New York and 25,000, I'm talking about a whole top of a mall. Every aspect, there's just lines of people. And the crazy thing is, after that, we'd do like 2 in a day or something like that. We'd go have a bite to eat. And all the parents are in there. I'm sitting right there. They were just with me, and they're all talking about how amazing Barney was, and I'm having a hamburger right next to him.
But they didn't know.
No, they had no idea.
So no one ever. You
No.
never were seen outside that
No,
suit.
never talked about it.
What did that do to you psychologically? You're in the suit, but you're really not getting the accolades as Carey Stinson, only as Barney.
But I'm getting this love from these children. I can't even tell you the power of that. To see children, I've worked with children for 20-something years, and they're so honest. And if they don't like something, they don't like something. If they love something, they love something. Yeah. Not because we told them to, it's because that's how they felt. And that's incredible. It's incredible. And everything. I do a little jump, or I wiggle my tail, or I touch their cheek, or I blow them a kiss, and they would grab it and hold it in. It's incredible. Okay. And it's everywhere. It's not just in Texas. It's everywhere I went, you get the same reaction.
So how many years were you on the road as Barney?
So I did those for 3 months, and then I did PR for them for 5 years, doing sing-alongs. I've told the story about my mom. My mom was my first choreographer. They asked me if I could dance, and I said, sure, I can dance. I can't dance. I mean, I can move, but I can't really dance. Okay. Trust me, you all seen me. I can't really dance. And so I went to my mom, who was a dancer. I didn't tell them. And I took a video to my mom, and I said, I need help. Can you? And she learned the routine.
Oh, my.
And I took my mom's old, 70s, 60s. She's going to kill me for that. But her old jacket, and I took a backpack, and I put weights in it. So I put weights over my shoulder and my back, and I put this jacket on. And we went into my parents' garage, shut the door, and she told me, showed me how to do bell kicks and how to do 360s and how to fly like an airplane and all of that. And we just did it and did it and did it and did it and did it until I got it. And then they'd send me, I'd go to Omaha and do 3 shows. And I was going 5-6 times a month to all these places doing these sing-alongs and these incredible meet and greets. And I did that for 5 years. And then they said, do you want to go on tour? Do you want to be the lead in our tour? I remember it. I was sitting in my apartment, and I'm 26 or something. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like fun. You have to understand, I was isolated.
Yeah.
So I had my family and friends from beforehand, and then my family was now becoming, all of those people. Sloan Coleman and Kathy Schumack. Kathy, she left birthdays and came with us too. She did special events. Yeah. So I was with Kathy forever. So it was my friend from doing birthday parties. Now we're just doing bigger venues.
Yeah.
But our relationship hasn't changed, right? So we still go out and have a hamburger like we did back in the days. And Sloan, and I know all Sloan's kids, and I went to Christmas parties and Kathy's family. And so all these people were still, it was the same relationship. So a tour, I was like, sure. I didn't really realize what I was about to get into.
Okay.
But I did it. And, my mom's story is so crazy, but my dad's story is one of my favorites. That I had been doing these meet and greets, and I was getting ready to do Radio City Live, which was in 1994.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, a few months beforehand. And I told my dad one morning, I said, I'm going to quit Chili's. And he said, I don't think that's a good idea. He said, this is a fun thing you've been doing. And, and of course, no one understood it. My friends were trying to grasp what was going on, and they were hearing about it, but they weren't seeing it. No one had any clue what was going on. And he said, but you're an adult. You need to do what you need to do. You need to make these decisions. If you feel, I don't think it's the right one, but if you feel this is what you need to do, then you need to do it. So I did it. 1994, we sold out 12 shows at Radio City Music Hall in New York. And I was number 2. We talked about with Steve White, the mop and bucket and all of that. That was me. And my dad came to that show. He had a business meeting.
Yeah. At one point, when I said about Barney Live in New York City, earlier in the Swimmy Ads episode at that time, 339, I said that this is one of my favorite live concerts besides Big Surprise and Colorful World, things like that. But anyway, continue on.
And he took the train and came to New York.
And he had never seen you as Barney.
Not like that. He'd seen a few things, but not like that.
Okay.
And we got done, and everyone had laughed, and we came off the stage, and my dad was right there. And I lost my dad several years ago, so he's very close to me.
Yeah, I'm so sad for you, bud.
And he said, "You were right. Good job." And, you know, for a son to hear that from their father, who, you know, he's the reason I'm here. I want to be a piano player. Well, let's make you a piano player. You're going to be a purple dinosaur? Be a purple dinosaur. I mean, he always, and my mom too. I mean, she taught me all those moves. My parents are, you know, why I'm here. And people have asked me about, you know, all this love and all this stuff. Well, they raised me that way. They taught me all of this.
It sounds like they already had a Barney philosophy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My dad, his father left when he was a little boy, and so he didn't have a father, and he had an amazing mother who loved him very much. So he was instrumental in always telling us we love each other, always. At the dinner table, every time we saw him, my sisters, my brother, my mom, my dad, we love each other, we love each other, we love each other. So if anything ever happened to any of us, we never needed to say, well, I wonder how they felt. We always knew. So, I mean, we were hugging and loving and always to everyone. I mean, it was so important to him. So he really put that love and the power of love, and my mom too, into me and my whole family. We're all like this. We're all like this. So they kind of set me up for
Barney.
Yeah.
I love that. No, that's lovely.
Yeah, it's incredible. So then I went on tour, and that was crazy. You know, I've got some of these pictures here.
Okay, let's look at some. I mean, all the different places you went. Let's see. So we got
Wow.
Grand Ole Opry right there. In fact, if you as you're watching us, Grand Ole Opry, that's great. If you're not watching us, take some time and go to YouTube.
Yeah, or you can be able to go to the Purple Tales podcast
and see some of these
our
pictures.
website. We will be putting these pictures out as well.
But you also want to see Carey. Go to YouTube.
This is stuff that no one in the world gets to do.
Oh, okay. This is going to have a close-up. Can you see the purple dinosaur on top of the Radio City Music Hall?
That's the Barney Live in New York City Radio City Musical. Oh my God, it's awesome.
Sign. I mean, most of us, anyone who's been to New York City, you have walked by Radio City Music Hall. There are the flags. And you look so teeny tiny, but that's how big that is.
Whoa!
What was that feeling like?
Barney's Big Surprise. Oh, yeah, I thought it was Barney Live in New York City for some strange reason. But anyway, Live in the Purple, January 5th to the 26th. Okay. I see where this is going, but that was for what year? Continue on.
Up on top, and you're just...
Well, it was a little scary. I say it's an amazing thing to watch the cabs and everything go by. Incredible experiences in New York, like that one right there.
Okay.
Is that Saturday Night Live?
It is Saturday Night Live.
Barney is on the Saturday Night Live stage. Okay.
Wow! I have never seen him in Saturday Night Live in my life, but wow! Continue.
That is the best. Oh, that is so cool. Okay.
And then this is incredible.
Where's that? Oh,
so
Macy's.
What people don't know is the night before the Macy's Day Parade, you rehearse the number you're going to do live on NBC without the float.
Okay.
So that is on the streets of New York in front of Macy's with...
Okay, wow. This is cool. BJ, Baby Bop, and Barney. This is cool. Wait, hold up. What year was this from? Okay, let's continue on.
People surrounding, cabs are driving by, the whole deal, and we are on the street performing the number that we're going to do on Thanksgiving.
And you've got BJ and Baby Bop.
Baby Bop, yeah.
And you, oh my goodness gracious, right in front of Macy's before the parade.
You know, I've been talking about this a lot. We talk about these numbers, the thousands and the thousands and thousands, and I thought it'd be great to actually show some of you getting to see the amount of people that shows up at events.
If this picture, it's just covered with people.
And it's in Australia.
Yeah.
I performed in Australia for a month doing sing-alongs.
Oh my goodness.
This is the arena in Sacramento.
We got Sacramento. We've got all of these different places.
We got to give a big shout out here to Texas. That is Aggie Land.
Here's-
Gig 'em right there.
Oh my gosh, with all the Aggies at Texas A&M College Station. That is so great. Carey, and while you were on tour too, didn't you visit hospitals and do all that?
I did. I did. You know, the first one was Josh. He was here with us, Josh and I. So Josh did some of the hospitals. I did some of the hospitals. Now, I did hospitals for 5 years. I know I've told a lot of those stories. It's the most incredible aspect of my whole life, you know. I always tell people, because they go, oh my gosh, Carey, that's so sad. It's not.
Wait, tell me give us an example.
Going into a hospital, seeing a child burned, or seeing a child on a respirator, seeing a child with cancer.
Yeah.
I've never seen sadness in a hospital. These children smiled. They loved. They forgot everything. What was going on in that moment was their friend was in the room. And that's why it was so important. You were Barney. I mean, you jumped and you hugged and you didn't play sad. They didn't want sad. They wanted their friend. And so you gave them that. That is incredible. I have not told some of these stories. That's why I'm so emotional today. I've never told some of these stories ever out to the world. And I've seen the response that we've been getting. And I just feel that it's so important. You know, the gentleman that said, you know, he spent all that money. Well, we understood what you were doing, and we wanted to give you, understand, we get what you were doing, and we cared about it. We cared about it. And I have this incredible picture here, Nancy, because I thought this was such a cool thing. Because I've had the fortune to meet a lot of the other. I got to meet Mr. McFeely from Mr. Rogers, Speedy Delivery.
Oh man, this is cool enough. You met him, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Oh my God! Well, the late Mr. Rogers will be proud of you. Continue.
Came up in a suit, said hi, and introduced me. Went around, put on the whole thing, came back, and Mr. McFeely was there.
Okay.
Gone. He was there. And then this amazing gentleman right here. This is one of my favorite pictures.
Okay, tell us who this is.
Yeah, so we've got Bob West, the original voice of Barney, who will be on in a couple weeks. And then that's
oh my, Kel Spinney! Oh God! Help me! These two performers, anyway, these two retired performers. Continue on.
Spinney, who is Big Bird, and then myself. And you can see, you know, he was up in his 70s at that point.
Yeah, he's now in his, Big Bob West, excuse me. Carol Spade's now in his 80s, now retired, so just give you a heads up. Anyway, let's continue on.
I worked with him. I did performances with him.
Yeah. You were very cute.
Thank you.
Still are.
Thank you. And he was as dedicated as well. You know, the lucky people that have had the opportunity to play these characters see the impact it has on children and see the responsibility of this. And we all know we're just the luckiest people in the world.
You told me when we first met, Carey, before we even started doing these podcasts, about a particular instance in a hospital about one of the children who couldn't talk. Couldn't talk.
Well, see, and I don't know that. They didn't tell me that.
Exactly.
So I go in the room, and this has happened thousands and thousands of times. When Barney comes in with the child, the room becomes me and the child. Right? There's adults and nurses and all that stuff, but they're gone. We're having a moment. We're playing. You know, I'm shaking my tail or wiggling, you know, I'm wiggling my toes at them and stuff like that, you know? And we're having fun. And so the child starts going crazy and she's, Barney, I love you. You're so silly. I love you. And I'm wiggling my tail and we're just playing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And because of, we talk about how big this costume is, all of it. I always say I have spidey senses. I have amazing vision, ears, nose, all my senses, because I had to. Because I've got a mask on, so I can barely see, so I have to be able to see everywhere. People don't know this, but I kind of case a room when I walk in. So I look for everything that's high, so I don't bump into anything.
But you're only looking through a very narrow
Right, but so what I would go in is I would kind of bend down and I would arch my back so I did a real quick look at the room. So every room that I ever went into, I saw all the danger spots. So that, because I didn't want someone to lead me in, right? No one would lead Barney, and Barney's real.
Exactly.
Right? So I don't want someone holding my hand and saying, no, I'm coming in with a vengeance. So I would check the room out, or I might go by myself and already check out, so I know where the exit signs on, or all that. So I can go in. I usually do a spin and make an entrance when I come in a room. And so we're doing all that and having fun, but my senses are noticing here, the nurses and the doctors they're not just tearing up, they are crying. And I don't know what's going on, but I give her a high five at the end and wiggle my tail and go. And we do the rest of the hospital, and I get out. And I said, what in the world was going on there? And they said, Carey, that child hasn't spoken in 2 years. You want to talk about Barney magic? You want to talk about this stuff? I mean, that's as real as it gets. This is happening, and it's happening for 22 years. It's happening, and the other actors that have, been so fortunate to play this, David Joyner will tell you these stories. David Voss will tell you these stories. Josh Martin's told you these stories. Sarah and Patrick and all of them, and so everyone that's had the fortunate to do this, I've been so fortunate to do it as long as I did, but. People say to me, how did you do it this long? How could I stop?
It's interesting because the kids never saw you as Carey. That was very,
correct.
very important. However, I've kind of been digging through some of your pictures, and it looks like Carey did get some, as Carey. You just had to be Carey with some of these famous people. Let's see, here we have...
Yeah, from Full House. Mm-hmm.
Is that Candace?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, that's very, very cute.
It is.
So, were these from shows or?
Yeah, we did a lot of charity events and charity functions, and that's what that one was. That right there is cool for your football fans. That's Rich Gannon. I played in the NFL for a long time, and that other gentleman is my brother.
Wow, I did not know your brother's on here. Did he work for you? Continue on.
He worked on the road. He was a wrangler for years on the road, and then he'd worked in audio as well. Okay. This is a good one here.
Okay, let's see what we've got.
Yeah.
Look, so you take up 1/3 of the whole photo because Barney is so big.
Yeah, for your Grease fans there, beauty school dropout there. Yeah. That's Dee Dee Conn.
Oh my gosh.
That's Dee Dee Conn.
Oh wow.
Barry Pearl, who played Professor Tinkerputt, and he was in one of the original Thunderbirds. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be on the show? In June.
Got a lot of requests for him.
It's big friends with Dee Dee. She was awesome.
And I believe this is a country singer, isn't it?
That's Billy Dean.
Okay.
Billy Dean was on American Idol the other night, but there he is.
Okay.
And that one, I know you got to look really closely. That's Katie Couric.
Oh, Katie Couric, and of course we see her.
And there's Bob West.
Oh, and Bob. So we see Katie at the beginning talking about Barney, and then she finally got to meet him.
There she is.
Oh my goodness gracious! And I mean, you were much thinner in a lot of these pictures.
Well, I think I kind of told the story with Josh about I lost a lot of weight doing that. This one's good and current here.
Oh wow!
That's Maria Shriver.
Maria Shriver and 3 of her kids with Schwarzenegger, and I believe the eldest daughter. This should be. Yeah. She's pictured Catherine, who's going to be marrying Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
Wow, this is cool. Schwarzenegger family, with the Barney suit. Yeah, this is cool.
We'll have to send them this as a wedding present. What do you think?
There you go.
With a little note, with an autograph from Barney.
There you
go. That's so cute.
And we're talking about Grease there.
Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. John Travolta, Kelly Preston, and their son, Jet.
Yeah.
Jet, who passed away
Yeah,
But they came to the shows.
and what's so incredible with these pictures, as you see them with Barney, is they were parents.
They weren't movie stars.
No. They lit up. Look at the smiles on their faces because their kids are happy. It's the same thing. They got it. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's cool that I'm getting to hug him, but he's a parent. You know, and I saw that time and time again. This one, here's a real big one here.
Oh, my
that's
goodness
Forrest
gracious.
Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker, Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love this one, so I got to show this one real quick. Famous Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, old Janet Jackson. I'm a big Minnesota guy, and
Yeah, famous Justin Fame passed away. But anyway, let's continue on.
love Prince and all the music from Minnesota and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Oh my!
That's my brother, so that was very cool.
Now are these pictures like plastered all over your house,
Nope.
or when's the last time you saw any of these?
Oh, probably 10 years. When we decided we were going to do this, I had the unveiling of this box. I haven't seen these pictures in for a long time. In a long time.
So then you also did the tour. But I mean, then you were doing the episodes because you did work with.
I did the TV show for 12 years. Someone asked the other day, when did I start? It was 700.
It's like that, but that's the seventh season, correct?
season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there it is. So
Wow.
there's the cast. and
Oh my
crew.
goodness gracious! How?
And you look deep, you'll see
we're gonna put this
Selena-
picture up.
You'll see.
Wow! These are kids, adorable kids. Oh yeah, Beth, Cammy, Sarah. These are always adorable. I mean, my God, this Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato. I talked about this in BNF Vlog season 7, but there you go. And I haven't finished season 7 yet. But anyway, continue on.
Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato in there.
Oh,
that was their.
This
their
is
show.
a big picture. Here, I'll just put this one
and
up right here.
I think that's so important. You know, we've been talking about this, Nancy. Look at all the people it took to do Barney.
And this was just
All the people it took to be involved in this show. Directors and the costume people, the art department,
We're gonna have to
lights,
check off each
makeup.
person as we get them on, right?
Absolute- Yes.
We'll
yes.
take-
But you know what I look at? You know what that picture is?
What is it?
That's my family. You know?
Ooh.
I've known these people for 20-something years. I mean, we all believe. Look at the smiles on their faces. They all love that purple dinosaur and what they were doing. This
Wow.
wasn't a job. You know, and they all understood and loved this job and loved what doing. And I've been talking to a bunch of them, and it's just like last week.
Okay.
You know? This is who I saw every day.
When did it all come to an end for you?
Well, it's, you know,
It hasn't ended. I take that back.
yeah, but
So when did this your 22 years end? I mean,
yeah,
what
so
was-
that would have been whatever that is, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
I still did some stuff after they after they shut down the production. I worked with Sprout a lot.
Okay, now Sprout.
Sprout
Wow.
was the show, and now they're doing with Universal Kids. But Chica and Kelly and the Goodnight Show and Nina and all of those people, we did a lot of work with.
But as
them.
Barney?
As Barney, so we.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen them in forever. These people. Wow. These are cool enough.
Sent out some of the pictures. I was on the Sunny Side Up show,
Okay.
and we did some sing-alongs where Kelly and Chica would be out there, and so those were some really cool experiences.
But so once you said goodbye to Barney in that part of your
Yeah.
career with him,
Uh-huh.
you took up photography.
I did.
You went behind another lens and only looked at the world and went in and probably checked all the rooms out the way you did with Barney and knew where to
and
focus.
that's what's my vision. You know, I look at the world differently. 'Cause
Exactly.
I've seen it so different than most people. You know, we talked about this at one point, but you know, I was Barney when we had a moment of silence for 9/11. You know,
Yeah, stupid idea, I
no one
know.
else in the world was doing that but me. And you're looking at, you know, the kids, and you're looking at, you know, my family, as I say, and what an unbelievable experience. These incredible photos right here
Okay.
This is one of my favorite stories. That's David Geffen.
The music mogul
He is.
and movie mogul,
And Joel Schumacher.
director. Yes.
And
What were they? Did they direct you? Or this?
this
I mean,
is
here we have.
the crazy life that I had. Is that I'm in Houston with my really good friend, having a weekend of just being boys.
Wow.
And I get a phone call, Carey, you need to be in Dallas. Where are you? I said, I'm in Houston. All right, we'll get you a flight. We got to get you to Dallas. You've got a flight at 7 o'clock. You're going to L.A. Okay, what am I going to L.A. for? David Geffen originally looked like he was going to do the movie. He was going to do the Barney movie. And so they brought us on for these promo shots. So Dennis DeShazer, producer, myself, and PR, we go. That's on the Warner Brothers lot. This is the crazy life we live. So the three of us go. Now, we're the three from Texas in Hollywood, taking Barney to Hollywood. And this photographer's got this incredible whole setup, and everyone's like, look, David Geffen's pretty particular. So he's going to show up, he's going to do what he's going to do, and then it's going to be done. So
Yeah.
we go to get the crate, and people have been asking this question a lot, so we'll tell you, Barney doesn't hang in my closet. Barney travels large, and
Wow.
in a special crate, he's specially shipped, he's specially taken care of. This is a very special costume they take very good care of.
Yeah.
So he arrives, and we can't get him because the lock is busted.
Yeah.
And in Hollywood, there ain't any problems they can't handle. So we're flipping out, and we tell someone there, and they said, not a problem. Get on the radio. A guy rides up on a bicycle with bolt cutters, click, and they take the lock off, and he gets back on that bike and rolls off. I'm like, well,
Done.
I guess we're good. So we go out to do it. I meet the photographer, and the photographer says, you guys, I've watched a little bit of the show. It's amazing what you do. And what I really want to get a shot of is that jump that you do. You do that large jump. So I brought in a trampoline. I said, a trampoline? Well, for the jump. I don't need a trampoline. I do the jump. No, the big one. That's what we do.
Oh boy, a picture. You are at least 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah, when David Joyner came in, he really made Barney very physical. And so he really added a lot of this stuff in, and Miss Penny and a lot of them. They made Barney very physical with these jumps and these big moves. And so it was something you really had to work on. When I told you, Nancy, when I went from birthday parties, from a 20-piece costume to this massive, sophisticated, all those people like David Joyner and Miss Penny and Bob West and Dennis DeShazer and Jim Rowley, and I can go on and on, were so gracious to me because they helped me. I mean, I had to really step up my game from what I was doing. They loved me because I was good with the children, but I had to learn some dance moves. I had to step my game up a lot. I was a cross-country runner, and they loved that aspect because I could last for a long time. They didn't have to worry about me physically. But all of those people really helped me and were so gracious to bring me along and to allow me to do that. And so when you're doing something like that, now I probably had some adrenaline flow in there too.
And how much did that suit weigh?
That was 50 pounds.
And you were awfully lean, from we've seen in those pictures.
But I'm a
Pretty
little more
skinny.
powerful than I've got a little more skills than people realize. And it was crazy doing those shots, and I'd never seen anything like it.
I love to always ask our guests.
Yes.
What was the reaction when people would find out you were Barney? I mean, during those 22 years, somewhere along the line, you had to tell someone. Was it a good pickup line?
I did not use that as a pickup line, but I did have to tell because when I go out on dates, they were going to find out. As the internet came out, I was going to get Googled. I mean, look, we do it now, but it was happening back then, and so it was either me telling or, Carey, do you got something you want to tell me?
So, what was the reaction from most people, or your friends?
It's
even?
the same reaction. I still get that reaction, which is no, or you're lying or something. Or like, there's probably some other things I would have come up with if I was going to come up with a wild story, that's just probably not it. And they'll say, well, that's a good point. They'll still Google me. They all Google me. Everyone Googles me on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, you really were. And we had that one video. I don't know if they've got that video, but I did the Land of Make Believe video, and they thought it would be fun to actually have me.
Okay, if you're watching, yes, here it is.
You're seeing the debut of Mr. Barnes.
Hi, Mr. Barnes. You know your shoelace is untied?
Oh, thanks. Are you playing with Barney?
Yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Barnes. Look out! Oh, goodness.
I'm so sorry. Are you all right? So, yeah.
And you're an actor.
So yes, I have done a little bit of that too.
But a lot of people probably didn't know that Mr. Barnes was really Barney,
they
right?
didn't, and that was the fun thing. If that clip kept going, I disappear, and all of a sudden Barney appears, and it's
the magic of editing.
It's the funny story though about that. Randy Dalton, who was our executive producer at the time of that video, which is my favorite production I've ever worked on, was that was at Universal Studios in Florida. So every day we got a place at the park to play in. It felt like. And we opened that video production. Fred Holmes, who's going to be on our show here soon, was the director of that show. And so he was the one, Mr. Barnes, let's do this thing. And so Randy comes out to the set, and he sees me, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, we're still doing Mr. Barnes. He's like, I've got the mayor of Orlando about to give you, Barney, the key to the city. This needs to wrap up quick, Mr. Barnes. You need to become Mr. Barney. And so we quickly.
You're actually turning a little red thinking about that.
Yeah,
you
well,
are.
These memories come back, and I remember, and Randy's a very dear friend of mine, and we'd have fun about it. He's like, we need to wrap that up. So, that was a fun, special time.
Gosh, you've got so many great stories. But Carey, when was the last time you put this suit on? The Barney suit?
Well, here's the crazy thing, Nancy. It was last Wednesday.
Just for fun?
It wasn't just for fun.
Trying to impress somebody?
No.
What?
I got a phone call and got the opportunity to do it again, which was an incredible experience. So Barney went up to Connecticut last week for Jerry Franklin. So CPTV, Connecticut Public Television, was where Barney came from,
and there is a picture up right now of Barney with
my good friend Dean Wentz, the voice.
And that looks like, is that Christine Baranski?
It is. And so we were up there to Jerry Franklin is retiring, and so that was his goodbye. And he did a lot of.
Did he know Barney was going to be up there?
He did, and they were so. I mean, they're the ones that got us on PBS, and they were so supportive, and they loved Barney up there, and it was incredible experience again. Christine Brinkley, there's his whole family.
There's the whole family.
So he's in the middle there, and there's his whole family,
and of course Barney.
Yeah. They said,
Barney.
Can Barney please
kind of stands out.
And he really does, doesn't he? That big crowd, and your eyes can't help but go to it.
And
there's Christine Baranski again, and
what did it take to get you to put that suit on again?
A phone call. I mean, I jumped on it as quick as they asked.
So what did it feel like?
It was so emotional. It was very special. Dean and I were touched. Dean is a very close friend of mine. He did Barney, the voice of Barney, with me for all the years on the TV show, starting in season 7 or 700. So Dean and I are very close. We've stayed friends over the years, but to be back in that mode again was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to see the response.
That's what I want to hear about. What was the response?
Everyone. So here's
What a beautiful stage.
Yeah, it's a big stage, and there I am. I can still move a little bit.
Okay. You must go to YouTube to look at this. You and, was that Christine? Got a high
Christine
five.
Baranski, yes.
And you are dancing?
Yeah, I still have a couple
and so
moves.
And so Dean is talking as you're look at you skipping and hopping and
this is all live, so I'm just listening to him and we're just following.
You know what's amazing is watching this, knowing this just it was like what, a week ago?
It was a week ago.
Yeah.
It's no wonder no one realized that Barney the body of Barney was not where the voice came from.
Yeah.
Because that's you guys have that down so well.
It's so physical, and it's an incredible thing.
Now, where did Christine Baranski fall into all this?
So she was the MC of the event.
Okay.
And she came up to me and said, "I've got some questions for you." And she said, "My grandchildren just love you, and can we please take a picture?" And we did a little sing along at the end with Christine and
You
Jerry
sang
Franklin.
with
Yes.
Christine Baranski.
I did, and the piano player, who I think somewhere there, he just got nominated for a special Tony.
Oh my.
So it was a very special evening. There he is. Look at that.
Oh my god! Oh, that's beautiful. Look at his jacket. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah.
It is orange and yellow, and it looks like
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call
And
those.
it's so funny because they become kids. He was like, "Barney, good job," and I was like, "Congratulations on the Tony."
But now I can look and I can see a little bit of netting inside the mouth, knowing that you are scoping that scene out.
I'm watching everything.
Yeah.
Well, I have to, as you can see. You see how I go onto that stage. You have to prepare yourself. I mean, I could wipe out, and there's
But it's
actors and all kinds of stuff.
Everyone has been talking about a reunion or what. I
Right.
think people are going to be very, very, very surprised to know,
Exactly.
to learn, to see that you did this. And I guess you got the blessing of those who you needed the blessing from, correct?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It wasn't like you just went into a closet.
No, Mattel was involved in this, obviously,
Okay.
and the special events department and all of that. Now, we all love Barney. They love Barney. I love Barney. We all love Barney. We're all on the same mission of bringing joy to children. I mean, they're all wonderful and supportive, and it was such an incredible. I was honored that they called and they wanted me to come do this with Dean, to be with Dean again, and it's funny because people were like, have you been to the gym? Have you been stretching? Or how you feeling? And my mother and my sister were like, "No, you got it." Because they know me. My head will go into that mode. I will all of a sudden be 23 again.
Still.
And it's incredible. And so, now, almost 30 years, from a 23-year-old, I don't mind telling people I'm in my 50s now. And
You look good.
thank you. And I'll tell you this, too. 5 years ago, I broke my femur. So I actually have 2 titanium rods in this leg. So yeah,
I can't tell.
I can still move.
No, you
pretty
certainly
good.
can.
But everyone wanted their picture with Barney. Everyone wanted to see Barney again. Everyone smiled. It just makes people happy.
Exactly.
And that's an incredible thing that Cheryl and Dennis they created. Kathy Parker.
We need more of this.
Absolutely,
And that's
we do.
why you're doing this. And now I
Absolutely.
understand. I really understand, and I hope we all can appreciate why you want to keep the integrity, the goodness, the reality of the imagination, which is Barney, alive.
Absolutely, you can see it time and time and time again. All of these things, all of this. It's the most incredible experience I can. I'm just so blessed. It's just.
Okay, here's the big question.
Yes.
Here, I don't know if this will make you tear up.
I've done it a couple
I
times.
know. I figure, by now you're used. No, it's okay.
Not much left.
Is Carey more Barney or is Barney more Carey?
I think we're one. It's a crazy thing, and I don't even know if people will understand that. But I think we work together, And the other actors would probably tell you the same thing. I remember doing what I was telling it with Josh, this little baby, and I gave everything I had left. I mean, sweat, every aspect to try and make this child, smile. I knew it was really bad.
Yeah,
And I got done, and the mom said, "Can I meet him?" And they brought me out, and this lady was Russian.
They brought you out as Carey.
As Carey, Russian, and sweat just as nasty as I could be.
Yeah.
And she just hugged me and kissed on me. We just met, and she's like, "You're the only thing. Barney's the only thing that makes my child
Yeah.
smile." all of the doctors and the needles and the operations, and I can put on Barney and I get to see my child smile again.
Still.
And all of these people made that happen.
Exactly.
All of these people on the tour, and all of these people that just have hearts of gold, and that's what Purple Tails is about. Mm-hmm. And that's what all these people are about. And hearts of gold, all of them.
Exactly.
And that purple dinosaur, and I mean, I got back doing it just like it was. I mean, it didn't feel any different. I didn't even hurt, I had people saying, "Oh, you're gonna need a massage." No, I'm good. Like, it just, the Barney magic just came back, and I got to hear from some Barney people that heard about it and saw about it, and that was, pretty special. Because I feel when I'm doing it, I'm representing everyone. If that makes sense, right? I don't want to let anyone down,
Agreed.
And that's important. All of these people that love it, and we've lost. I went through these pictures, Nancy, and I saw some of the people from the tour. My original tour managers, we've lost, and original choreographer that was on the road, we've lost him. We've lost one of the directors from this show. Miss Penny passed away.
Yeah. And
they all loved it so much, and you feel like you're for them too. I mean, you're just for all these people, and
this was your This is your family.
It is my family, and it's the lessons of it.
Agreed.
That I think are so important today, of loving people, and having a little more patience.
Agreed.
Even when you're in traffic, right? And understanding, just loving people, and what I learned from my dad, and all these incredible things. I was told no so many times. Mm-hmm. I was told I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing this. I was not a trained actor. I didn't have an agent. This could not have happened in New York. I didn't have a SAG card. I was a cross-country piano player. Lucky to have a mom that could teach me how to dance, and a dad that just taught me never to give up. And I just didn't stop.
Exactly.
Will you come back and tell us more stories?
Of course. Of course.
You're a really good guest. But you're also a really good host. Will you get back in your chair next week?
I look forward to it. I look forward to it. We've got some great people coming up in the next couple of weeks. One of my family members will be here next week from this picture.
And who is that?
Bob LaValle, who designed all these sets, the beautiful caboose and all of these wonderful sets. Bob's going to be with us next week.
Okay.
And he's got some amazing stories. And then after that, we have Bob West joining us. So.
Okay. Another big one. They're all big. Everyone is big. And I
won't tell who it is, but the week after that, we've got someone flying in to be on Purple Tails, which is a huge good friend and guest, and I can't wait to have him. So we've got some amazing people coming up.
And just remember, go to purpletailspodcast.com. Yes. Look at all the pictures, get the information, and because you want to join us for Purple Tails Podcast Live.
Yes. Tickets are on sale right now.
Okay.
NSPublicTheater.org.
Okay.
And you can buy your tickets.
Carey, thank you. Can I put the jacket on? Do you have something for me?
I do. This jacket right here.
Jeans jacket.
Yeah, Day in Park with Barney. This is the Universal. If you look on there, Nancy.
That is amazing. I will be on there June 7th. Well, I'll be going to Universal. So there you go. Continue on.
There it is. But what does it say right there? Grand opening. So those are not something you'll find on eBay. That's the real deal. Grand opening, July. Absolutely. Thank you.
Hug it out. Hug it out, Mark.
Yeah. Okay. That was Purple Tails Podcast episode 11. What do I think about this episode? It was awesome. Anyways, double episode for this episode. LJPCBM episode 339. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be the two Bonzi Body shorts. Next two. But, because we spoke about this, the one supposed to be a random video, but it's not. But anyway. But until next time, so everything bye. Peace out, baby. We got more to be with you guys very out from me out to you guys very soon. But it's been Jeff for saying out. See ya.
Given unto me this life I'll never take for granted, and given all the time I failed to really understand it, I never sought to meet the maker of reality, the one who gave the life that which is always happening, but I tried all the time.